Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tom Lewis. We're live in our studios in downtown Panama City. We've got a situation here that is developing as we speak and is potentially dangerous for a lot of folks, especially on the east side of Bay County. Let's take a look outside, if we can, on our tower cam and show you the situation that we're talking about. It is a wildfire that has now spread to almost 100 acres, in fact, a little over 100 acres. This fire started right off of the area known to locals, longtime locals here will know it as Hog Pen Curve. That's the large curve there on Tyndall Parkway between Springfield and Callaway. We understand that the fire happened actually started behind the car dealership there, or the Honda dealership, and the woods back in that area, and then began to spread. It was off of Adkins Avenue in that area. And now it has spread to the north, going up towards Transmitter and 231. They've evacuated literally everyone east of Transmitter Road all the way up to 231. We're talking about several hundred, if not more, homes and businesses in that area. Let's take a look at some of the video that has come back from the scene. This is earlier this morning. I think this was probably around 11:30 to noon, in that time frame. This fire has gotten significantly bigger since then. We understand at least 2 homes have been burned. We are having reports from people calling in here to the station saying that the ashes are falling out of the sky and onto their houses as far north as Lynn Haven. So this, as you can see, is quite a cloud and is obviously catching people's attention all over Bay County. This is first time I'm actually seeing this video. This is, as you see, quite an impressive fire. Anyway, people are being, again, evacuated from the area. We have reports now of over 300 homes. The areas that are being evacuated is well over 100 acres because of the size of this fire. Of course, conditions have been very dry. This is about the 3rd or 4th fire that we've had in our area in the last 48 hours. There was one 2 nights ago that broke out over in the Callaway Heights area that we reported on live from the scene a couple of nights ago. We were back there again last night where that fire flared back up again. There was also some fires in the Bayou George and in the Southport areas where they were also growing at fairly good size, but those fortunately didn't grow to the magnitude of, say, this one or the one in the Callaway Heights area. There you can see the Dollar General store off of Transmitter there and 231. Pardon me, Highway 98. You can see the size of that fire. There's the dealership there, the Honda dealership. You can see that was earlier this afternoon. Again, quite a size of a fire there. Let's bring Chief Meteorologist Ross Whitley into the picture here. Ross, again, the conditions have just been so dry, and this is very dangerous. You were telling me earlier that if they don't get a handle on this, they could have real problems.
Yeah, it has been extremely dry. Now, as of what I know, we don't have any burn bans issued across the area. We are under a high fire danger today. We have been dealing with dry fuels at the surface for a couple of weeks now, as it's been a while since we've had rain. And from the information that I've gathered, this started with burning trash in an individual's backyard or on their property, and that's how this started. There are several fires around the area. This isn't the only one, but this is the one that is gaining the most attention, obviously because of its proximity to homes. But dry conditions is really what led to this. Now, you may have remembered burns in the past that have created pyrocumulus clouds, things like that. We don't have any issues with that today. As you'll note, the smoke's going up and then going out. That's because there's dry air aloft. So this isn't going to continue to go up. Now, that will pose an issue later today as we start to see temperatures cool down. That's going to push this smoke down to the surface. So we could have visibility issues in and around the fire area as we go overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. So if you can, avoid the area where the fire is near, because we may see visibility reduced just like we would if fog was present. As we're taking a live look at the tower cam here off to the north and west, or north and east rather. Good news, at least as far as appearance of the smoke. It's not as impressive as it has been here recently, but the biggest issues that we're dealing with at the current moment is right there. It is the humidity. It's very, very dry. Remember, our relative humidity is the difference between the temperature and the dew point, and then you just times that by 100. Anytime we get relative humidity values under 40%, 40%, that's when we're going to talk about our surface fuels being able to ignite very, very quickly. And we're clearly under that 40% threshold. We also have some breezy conditions with the sea breeze out of the south at 13 miles an hour. So that's also not helping things, and clearly dry conditions. Drought monitor, I showed this yesterday. We are in designated drought across Bay County and Gulf, as well as portions of Franklin County. The rest of the area is in abnormally dry conditions, signifying what we have known for a couple of weeks now, which is it is dry. The Forestry Department of the state issues this map, which shows most of the area in high fire danger. The yellow and the red representing high fire danger, the red representing very high, and then the green down here in Franklin and Gulf counties representing low fire danger. Still a fire danger, just not as high as the rest of the area. Obviously, the fuels on the ground also playing an impact to that. But as Tom just mentioned, if we don't get this under control here tonight, going through the day tomorrow, my concern is that the wind is going to be elevated into the afternoon hours. Tonight, we'll see the wind settling down, but tomorrow we'll see the wind pick back up. 15, maybe even gusts as high as 25 as that wind picks up out of the south and west. So our dew points will be on the rise tomorrow with that south influence, but the wind is going to be much, much higher, meaning that we're going to offset those relative humidity values. So it won't be as dry in the air. We're not going to be spreading the fuels as fast, but we could be pushing the fire along quicker. So we really need to get this contained overnight tonight into the morning hours. Our dew points showing that, yeah, the wind will be picking up, but at least we're going to see those dew point values increasing. Our dew points are in the 40s right now. As we go through the day tomorrow, our dew points are actually going to be in the 50s and 60s, which puts a lot more moisture into the air, meaning that new fires will be less likely, but fires that are already burning, those are going to be the ones that we have to continue to watch because the wind will become an issue. Good news here on the long range is that we are going to eventually introduce rain back into the forecast. So that is also good news that as we go into next week, we're going to have to deal with that. But out there now, it is dry, and through the day tomorrow and on Sunday, also going to be dry. It won't be until we get into Tuesday that we start talking about better rain chances arriving. So again, as Tom was mentioning, really hopeful that we can do some damage, so to speak, in fire containment and actually get this thing contained through the rest of this evening, which we should see better containment conditions based on the weather as we go through this evening, overnight tonight, and then we'll have to worry about tomorrow if we don't have this contained at that point in time, if we'll see that fire spread once again. All
right, Ross, thanks very much. We'll, of course, keep an eye on that. Now, you brought up something interesting about containment today. And that is a problem for firefighters who are already pretty tired. Some of them have been fighting fires for a good 72 hours at this point. And we could hear as they discuss what's going on over the emergency radios that there are people saying, well, who's going to get this and who's going to get that? You know, they're scrambling and they're working really hard out there to try and put this thing down, but you got to feel for them because they're probably a bit overwhelmed at this point. I understand that Emily McLeod is standing by live, and she has been over in the midst of this fire for the last 3 or 4 hours, I think. Emily, where are you now? Looks like you're right off of 231 at the Highland Park Baptist Church. Is that where you are?
Yeah, that's right, Tom. We're here at Highland Park Baptist Church, right off of 231. This seems to be a safe spot in this area. We've been following county officials around right now, just looking at where the fire is spreading. This is a really scary situation. If you are in any of these areas where evacuations are being called for, get out now. It is not safe to be in those areas, and if you don't need to be in those areas, please avoid those areas. We're being told by officials that the fire is at 100+ acres at this point. Everything south of 231 on the east side of Transmitter Road has been evacuated. Alva Thomas Road has been evacuated. That's only 2 miles from where we are right now. There are 2 homes fully involved on Alva Thomas Road, but there is 0 visibility on Alva Thomas, so there are no other reports from there at this time. Brentwood and Avondale have already been evacuated, and Billsma has also been evacuated as well. Panama City ER on 231, they have actually shut down their emergency room, and they are currently evacuating patients. This is an emergency across all boards, across all agencies. It is all hands on deck with this fire. It is absolutely massive, and the newest piece of information I just got is that we think there are about 8 homes that are fully involved spread across all of this. And on the way over here to Highland Park, we were driving up Transmitter Road, and I saw people just stuffing as much as they could into their trunks and spraying their roofs with hoses. It is a very scary situation. My heart goes out to these first responders and the people that are evacuating right now. It's really scary.
Emily, as you just said, you saw a lot over there. Have you heard, I know that, I apologize if I'm repeating myself here, but they have set up that church behind you as an evacuation shelter for the people they're asking to leave. Is that correct?
Yes, Tom, that is correct. Evacuees can come here to Highland Park Baptist Church. I haven't seen anybody come in yet. Maybe a few people have trickled in, but so far I haven't seen anybody. But yes, evacuees, you can come to Highland Park Baptist Church.
And my understanding is they've shut off part of Transmitter, and traffic is seriously backed up there on 231. We can kind of see it behind you.
Yeah, traffic is definitely heavily congested in a lot of these areas. I believe it's Transmitter is closed from 15th to 231. Transmitter is closed from 15th to 231 at this time. Okay. I think I'm getting another report here.
Yeah, look to your left.
Just a second, Tom.
Evacuating Amanda Circle.
Evacuating Amanda Circle.
Everything on Amanda Circle. Evacuating Amanda Circle.
Everything on Amanda Circle is now evacuating. That was just now. We just got that from Valerie Sale with the county. That is brand new information. Everything on Amanda Circle is currently being evacuated.
Okay. Do you know, I'm assuming, is that Valerie standing next to you?
Yeah, she's right here.
Grab her and interview her. Ask her what sort of evacuation areas, if she can run over all the evacuation areas for us, okay?
Okay, so once again, if you wouldn't mind running over just all of the evacuations for all the evacuation areas, and just kind of project for me. I've got my mic on right here, but just kind of let us know.
Okay, everything at Willisma Estates, Avondale, everything at Amanda Circle, Alva Thomas. Many of those homes are engulfed. We've got a minimum of 8 homes that are fully engulfed right now. Our folks are out there, they're doing the best they can. This is a very fast-moving fire, a very fast-moving situation. We're doing the best we can to get this information out via Alert Bay, and you guys are doing a great job. Thank you very much for that. Everything on the east side of Transmitter, south of 231, is currently being evacuated. I'm going to continue compiling these notes, and I'll let you know later.
Okay, thanks so much, Valerie. Appreciate it. All right, I think that's all of the updates we have right now, but we're camped out here at Highland Park. There are more Bay County Sheriff's Office units coming in, more county officials coming in. I do see a couple of evacuees, I believe, coming in here right now. So there's more people coming in this area. There's going to be more information coming in, and we'll keep everyone updated as soon as we get more information.
All right.
I believe we might be getting something else. Oh, we're being told they're getting people's pets now. So people's pets are now coming to this area too. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts to this. And again, we'll just keep everybody updated as soon as we get more information.
All right, we're going to let you get back to it. Emily will check back in with you periodically throughout the afternoon. Emily McLeod reporting live from the scene up there right at Highland Park. 231 East Avenue is where she was located. And of course, again, that area is pretty active right now. If you don't need to be going up Highway 231, I strongly urge you to avoid that area. Traffic's backed up significantly. Transmitter Road, again, closed between 231 and Highway 98 or 15th Street, East 15th Street. Again, a fire burning somewhere in the neighborhood of at least 100 acres, maybe larger than that as it continues to grow. They've evacuated hundreds of businesses and homes in the area around Transmitter and 231. In fact, all the way up and down Transmitter Road, mostly to the east side. We did have reports of at least 2 houses on fire, 2 structures on fire in that area. And at this point, we're not sure how many more, but firefighters are scattered out all over that area trying to do what they can to knock down these flames. Let's check in with Ross one more time. Ross, again, if you would, run down the conditions and what we're hoping for tonight and tomorrow to get this thing under control.
Yeah, right now we have really dry conditions. So not only are we talking about dry as in surface fuel, so what's on the ground, we're talking about dry in the air. You hear me emphasize this a lot on air, that it's the dew point. When you step outside and you say it's humid, you're talking about our dew point values being high. Now, typically we see dew point values up in the 50s and 60s even during the winter time. So anytime dew point values start to get down into the 40s and 30s and even lower than that, then we can consider the air dry. That's when your skin will chafe. That's when your lips will dry out. And the higher the temperature is versus our dew point, the greater what we refer to as the dew point depression. So the greater the air is able to ignite as far as fuels are concerned, and that's where we get our relative humidity value. So that's where that comes in, and that's where that's important. So relative humidity is usually a misnomer. People saying it's humid outside, but in this case, we're talking about it as in how dry the actual air is. And at 32%, we're talking dry. That means that only 1/3 of the column of air is filled with water. So if you pulled out one column of air, you'd be saying that only 1/3 of it, if it was the glass, if you were filling a glass up with water, that is the atmosphere. Only 1/3 of that atmosphere actually has moisture in it. So that tells you just how dry the air is. And when that's the case, fuels burn, and they burn quickly. The wind's not helping things out. The good news is through the rest of this evening, we'll actually see our humidity values go up, and that's all going to be thanks to the fact that our dew points will be on the rise. And we do have moisture on the way. It's just going to take a while before it gets here. We'll see the wind more out of the southeast overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow. So even as our dew points start to climb through tonight into tomorrow, we're still going to be talking about dry conditions. It's not until we get into Monday where this cold front becomes an issue and starts to come in where we'll see actual appreciable rain. So we really need to get this under control tonight. Because with those drier conditions that are persisting and windier, breezier conditions expected for our Saturday, our Sunday, and our Monday, whatever fires are out there may be a little harder to control as we go through Saturday afternoon into Sunday. And clearly, we have been dry. We have drought conditions present from Bay County, parts of Calhoun County, and through Gulf and Franklin counties. The rest of the area is also under the abnormally dry conditions, as well as the state issuing saying that we are under high fire danger. Everywhere you see in red and yellow, that is high fire danger. Now low fire danger, but still fire danger present for Franklin and Gulf counties. Obviously, this is a little bit redundant because we already have the fires out there. Plus, we have plenty of fuels on the ground thanks to Hurricane Michael and the leftover debris that is still out there. So plenty of things to burn. But as we were just noting with Tom, our dew points, they're going to be on the rise. So that's the good news. Overnight tonight through the rest of this evening, we'll start to see better conditions to contain fire. So hopefully we can get this contained overnight tonight into tomorrow morning so that when the wind picks up tomorrow, we won't have erratic fire behavior to deal with, because you'll note the dew points, they're going to be on the rise through tonight into tomorrow morning and into tomorrow afternoon. Our dew points, remember, are sitting in the 40s right now, low 40s. By tomorrow afternoon, our dew points are going to be in the upper 50s and even 60s. That's good news. That's more moisture into that column of air. So if our temperatures reach the 70s tomorrow, over half of the column will be saturated, which means that those fuels on the ground, they'll be able to pull water into them, making them less likely to ignite. That doesn't do anything for fires that are already burning, but it does help create the possibility of new fires. They'll be less likely as we go into Saturday and Sunday. Now, fires that are already ongoing, the biggest issue is not only the relative humidity, but also the wind. And wind, well, it's going to be on the rise as we go through the day tomorrow, unfortunately. Overnight tonight, through the rest of this evening, we should see our winds calm down. As we get into the mid-morning hours tomorrow, that's when we'll see our winds pick back up as we go into the afternoon hours. But fire already ongoing. Hopefully we start to contain things as we get through the rest of this evening into tonight, and then we'll have to deal with what's out there tomorrow as the wind picks back up.
All right, thanks, Ross. Let's go ahead. We have, I believe, a couple of graphics here that will show you the evacuation areas that we're talking about. People are asking people to get out of their houses. Again, east side of Transmitter Road, between 231, so again, the south of 231 and north of 15th Street, East 15th Street, the Avondale Estates area, the Brentwood area, those are under evacuation. And I think they just added another one, Alva Thomas Road, Amanda Circle, Panama City, right off of Highway 231, the ER, that is the Gulf Coast ER that they just built up there on 231 about, I think it opened last year, didn't it? And that is now, they've shutting that down. They're evacuating patients out of there. as well as Billsma Heights, which is a little further up 231. They're asking people to get out of that area. If you need to evacuate, the county has opened Highland Park Baptist Church as a shelter for evacuees. I just noticed while Emily McLeod was going live from that area, the sheriff's office command unit, the mobile command center, was pulling into that parking lot. So it seems like they're probably setting up in that area as well. This again is a potentially dangerous situation. We have reports of a couple of houses already on fire, more than 100 acres burning now. Again, this started off at Adkins Road, right near what's known by locals as Hog Pen Curve on Tyndall Parkway in the Springfield area. It was just north of 231 and began to spread when the wind picked up to the north. So we're keeping a close eye on this situation. We're going to continue to monitor it all afternoon. If we need to break back into programming, we will do so. And again, if you have any questions, call your nearest law enforcement agency. Firefighters on the scene right now trying to knock this down, and we'll keep an eye on it as well. Until then, we will, again, keep an eye on it. If we need to come back in, we will come back in. For now, I'm Tom Lewis, live in the News 13 studios. We're going to return you now back to our regular programming.